I'm Christy. Today I want to start a new series talking about taking care of the caregiver. Now, jumping into a new series always makes me a little bit nervous, and this one is no different. Are you going to think this is an important topic? Now, I realize just because I think it's important doesn't necessarily mean you're going to think it's important. But I think that this is another one of those important but rarely discussed topics. That topic is caregiver self-care. There, I said it. Yes, we know we all need to take care of ourselves. But especially for us moms, it's so easy to downplay or even ignore this area. Now let me start by saying I get it. Been there, done that. Had the unhealthy habits to prove it. You see, when AJ came home from the NICU, I quit working. We had committed to me being a full-time mom. And as it turns out, that was really good because once the therapy started, all of his appointments kept me hopping. And then Sean was born. Now I was taking 2 littles to all of the therapy appointments and making sure that AJ was in school 4 mornings a week. At one point I counted. I had 14 appointments every week just for AJ. Now by appointment, I mean I had to be at a specific place at a specific time to do something specifically related to AJ. It was things like meeting the bus before and after school, doctor's appointments, therapy appointments. You get the idea. And then there were all the appointments and events and activities for the rest of the family. Now, after Sean was born, I also started struggling with depression. Now, this took me further and further down a dark hole, and I struggled for years, overwhelmed with life and barely keeping my nose above water. The weight piled on, and before I knew it, I weighed more than I had when I'd given birth to Sean, which was a weight I promised myself I would never go above, and I did. Now, fast forward to about 3 years ago. I went to a new doctor, and she talked about putting me on a medication that I had decided long ago I was not going to go on. But I knew from past experience if I lost a little bit of weight, I wouldn't need the medication at all. So I decided I was going to lose some weight and not need the medication. It took me about 6 months to lose 10 or 15 pounds. And when I finally got the weight off, I went back for my follow-up lab work, and I didn't need the medication. Phew, dodged that bullet. But in that time period, I got on a roll. I'd figured out how to start losing weight, and I started losing weight consistently. Now, not fast, but consistently. Over the next 2 years or so, I lost enough weight to get back to a healthy weight. And when I hit that weight, I realized it's a number I hadn't seen in 28 and a half years. Yeah, I had been overweight for that long. So I've now maintained it for about a year. And while I'd like to see the scale say a little bit smaller number, and I'd still like to lose a little bit of weight, I'm focusing now on building muscle and losing the flab. But this series is a lot more than just being about a weight or a number on the scale. During this journey, I've also discovered that there's a lot more to self-care than just being a healthy weight. That's what I want to focus on in this series. It's about making myself a priority, not to be selfish, but to make sure that my cup is full enough that I can pour out effectively and efficiently anytime I need to. It's about taking care of myself so that I'm at my best, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Now, what this looks like specifically will vary from person to person. And I realize that this isn't something new to most moms. Most moms struggle with this as a general rule. Once again, though, when you add special needs, the complexity just skyrockets. Not only do we have all of the usual requirements placed on us as a mom, but then you have all the extra pulls of having to live with someone and handle someone who has special needs. Sleep seems to be the easiest thing to give up. We grab fast food in between appointments because there's no time to do anything else, and the kids are hangry, and so are we. Schedules are so packed, we're always running from one thing to the next. I get it. I struggle with the same thing. But I've come to realize that there's another option. No, it's not always easy, and yes, compromises and sacrifices are going to be necessary. But realistically, when is that not the case in life? For me, making choices that have led to healthier outcomes has made all the difference in the world. I now get sufficient sleep most nights. Exercise is a regular habit. No, I don't always enjoy it, but it's a regular habit. I find activities that are energizing to me. And all of these things have allowed me to become a better mom, wife, and friend. And I'm in a better mental space, so I can more appropriately react to things when they don't go the way I expect or the way I want them to. I'm more at peace, and I'm more content. Now, I can share my experiences, and I will throughout this series. I can encourage you along your journey. I'll be your biggest cheerleader. But you have to take that first brave step. It doesn't matter how tiny it is. It can be so tiny you think it won't matter. But trust me, it will matter. You can do it. I know you can. And so my question for you this week is this. What does self-care look like for you? Do you practice self-care regularly? I'd love to hear what you do and what your experiences are. You can leave me a comment below, or you can leave me a comment over on the blog. You can find that at www.havenofhopeforme.com. This originally posted in August of 2019. As always, I'd appreciate it if you'd share this with anyone and everyone you think would find it helpful. I'd love to help as many families as I can. Sign-ups lists are available as usual in their usual locations. Signing up notifies you of all newly released content as soon as it's available. I'm continuing to learn and grow because it allows me to say that life is good and there is never a dull moment.